Over the past several years, I developed a wonderful relationship with a lovely gentleman, a Holocaust survivor, who belonged to my congregation in Denver. He was a longtime choir member and gave me respect both professionally and personally. We went to ball games, spoke of life, and he attended all of my musical and academic programs. This past spring, he was diagnosed with end-stage cancer, giving him only 2 months to live. Wanting to take advantage of the time we had together, I visited him often. Each time, though, I was afraid to visit. I felt unprepared for our conversation. What do we say to someone who is sick and vulnerable? How can we bring comfort to someone who is dying? Parashat Vayera begins, Vayera elav Elohei, Vayera elav Adonai ve'elonei Mamre, ve'hu yoshev petach ha'ohel kechom hayom. And the Lord appeared to him in the plains of Mamre, as he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. Rashi in his commentary asks, what need was there for God to visit Avraham in this moment? And Rashi answers, God is with Avraham as he rests while recovering from his painful circumcision, which took place at the end of the last parasha. In the Talmud, the rabbis see this as a perfect example of the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim, visiting the sick. They believe that people have the power to ease the suffering and discomfort of someone who is ill. The commentary then turns to us as caregivers. The sages envisioned God visiting Abraham to lessen his discomfort, implying that sometimes the greatest gift we can give an afflicted person is our presence. And when we do that, we are acting B'Tselem Elohim, following in God's ways. There certainly is something holy about being present during the most difficult of times. Walking into a hospital room is a daunting task for us, and it's certainly not easy to be a patient either. We don't know what we will see, or may not know what to say. At times, neither does the patient, as he or she is just as afraid. We are all fearful and feel vulnerable during these intimate moments. But out of that vulnerability comes potential holiness. God's actions in our parasha this week remind us that as future clergy and professionals, Bikur Cholim may be the most touching thing that we will do. These moments of intimacy and care create, develop, and sustain the one-on-one relationships that are essential in our service to the Jewish people and to God. A smile, holding a hand, and our mere presence can provide us with our most powerful and holy moments of walking in God's ways. In our last conversation, my friend told me how proud he was of me and challenged me to study hard to become the best rabbi in the world. That was an incredibly emotional and holy moment. In fact, I believe it was just as meaningful for him as it was for me. The mitzvah Bikur Cholim challenges us as Jewish leaders to acknowledge these unnerving, emotional, and potentially holy experiences. We're allowed to be scared, and we will be. But visiting the sick can be one of our most significant responsibilities. These are opportunities to be open-minded and willing to care as we bring to light God's presence. A necessary part of our strength is to be vulnerable. Just as God did for Abraham, we need to open up and force ourselves to offer everything we have, sitting with those in need, and pray that the holiness we create brings health, healing, and comfort. Can you hear that song? Speak God's will.